Abominable is an animated adventure film released in 2019, directed by Jill Carlton and produced by DreamWorks Animation and Pearl Studio. The movie tells the story of Yi, a young girl who embarks on a journey with her friends to help Polish Yeti find his way back home. The film opens with Yi leaving the house without having breakfast. Her grandma interrupts her and asks why she's leaving so early. Yi replies that her grandma would never understand her work. She spends her days working odd jobs like delivering packages, delivering dogs to the owner's house, and cleaning to save up money. Struggling to cope with the loss of her father, who passed away before he could fulfill his dream of taking Yi and her mother to travel across China. While coming home one day, she encounters some girls with her friend Jin who comment on her badly. She ignores them and goes home, having a small argument with her brother Peng. Jin arrives and makes fun of her.
You know I can smell you from all the way over here, right?
Very funny.
Later that night, her mother puts her to sleep and Yi gets out of bed and goes to the roof. She looks at the map she made to go to China and decides to save up money to go to these places. While playing her father's violin, a giant animal suddenly appears and Yi is scared of it. It's Yeti, who got separated from his family on Everest and has escaped from the secret research facility. As he was about to attack her, Yeti hears the sound of a helicopter and hides in the dark again. She helps him to hide and covers him with a metal sheet. They spend the night on the roof. In the morning, she notices that Yeti is injured. She runs to the medical store and grabs medicine. While coming back from the medical store, she grabs lots of cakes for him.
Ah!
So you're hungry now.
Oh, starving.
She feeds all of the cakes to Yeti and puts bandages on him. When Yeti notices a picture of Everest hanging on a bulletin board, he points towards it, making a sign like home. She searches more about him on the internet and realizes that they had exist for thousands of years, living on Everest, and now one of them is sitting with her. Yi continues playing on the rooftop with Yeti. Suddenly, Peng and Jin arrive and notice Yi with a giant scary white animal with scary big eyes. Peng screams and Jin calls the police. Yi tells them he will do no harm to us, but it's too late. Jin's calls to the police got tracked by the agency, which catches rare animals, and they arrive with their helicopters to catch Yeti. Seeing the danger, Yeti grabs Yi in his arms and runs to safety. Jin and Peng also run behind them and the agency tries to catch Yeti. Meanwhile, Yi and Yeti reach the tower of the river and the agency almost grabs them. But all of a sudden...
Where are they?
They're gone.
Yi orders the Yeti to get on the ship and get away from here. Then Jin arrives and asks Yi not to go with the monster, but she jumps on the ship saying she will get him to his family. So, Peng and Jin also get onto the ship to make sure she is safe.
You think this is funny?
Hearing they lost the Yeti, agency owner Mr. Burnish gets mad and screams saying he is my key to getting popular. I invited several scientists, professors and media to prove Yeti still exists.
There's news, Mr. Burnish.
News about you leaving?
A dock worker saw a creature and some kids boarding a cargo barge last night.
Back to our friends. Yeti and Peng indulge in a hearty feast aboard the ship, and Jin calls her mom. After reaching the port,
Yeah, we should hide.
these boxes are later transported onto a truck, which is loaded with cold drinks, and when Yeti finished its can.
Oh no! He's gotta go!
Out of my way!
Upon landing in the jungle, Yeti's unique ability to rapidly ripen fruit allows them to enjoy a delicious meal. However, the fruit rapidly grows to an enormous size, forcing the group to flee for their safety. Our friends ultimately find a secure place to spend the night. Jin expresses his desire to return home and let the Yeti go, but Yi underlines the value of family.
What about your family? Don't they need you too? Always busy, never home. What's that all about, Yi?
Don't talk to me about family. You have no idea. No idea. You're...
After that, they all fall asleep. While waking up in the morning, they listen to Yi's violin and Yeti listens peacefully. Jin announces that he has found out the ship leaves for the city from a nearby port. Now, happy time ends when the company arrives following the cold drink cans. The Yeti and his friends are amazed by the beauty of the hills, when suddenly drones from the greedy agency appear. But all of a sudden, Yeti begins to make a sound and the beautiful flower in Yi's hand starts to grow, which makes it fly away. But unfortunately,
Meet me at that village by the river.
We'll be there!
Yi is now surrounded by the agency members asking him for Yeti's location. But Jin refuses to tell Mr. Burnish about their location. However, a new woman arrives, claiming to be a scientist researching different animals, and convinces Jin to divulge their whereabouts in exchange for rescuing his friends. Jin gets emotional and says yes to helping them.
I don't know where they are, but I do know where they will be.
Meanwhile, Yi and the group reach a desert-like area and rest in a nearby river for the night. Yi remarks that they could have reached Everest by now with Jin's help using Google Maps. While Jin on the other side gets up in the middle of the night, unaware of the danger, he hides and listens to the agency members plotting to capture Yeti and tearing him apart in a lab while killing the children as well. He now wakes up to reality and understands that it's all a trap to get Yeti. He starts running and looks for the port nearby where he was gonna meet all of them. Yi and her friends travel by train and reach a village area, which has so many wild animals. Yi covers the Yeti with ropes to make him appear like a wild animal to avoid detection. Finally, they get united with Jin and go onto the boat. But the agency car flies on the river and runs behind them. Yeti uses his ability to increase the speed of the boat, causing it to get imbalanced and crash into a mustard field. After escaping from the mustard field, the group found themselves lost in a dense jungle.
Hey, Jin.
Unfortunately, in all of the chaos, the violin that Yi's father gave her gets broken and she ran sadly. Jin goes after her and apologizes for his sarcasm, and she also tells him that he is right and that she should take care of her family. Bang runs to them, showing them that Yeti has fixed the violin with his hair. As the group journeyed towards Everest, Yi looked at her collection of pictures and finally realized that her dream was coming true. She stopped in front of a sculpture that she wanted to visit for a long time and began to cry while playing the violin, thinking of her father. As her tears hit the ground, flowers started to bloom and grow. The magical sound of her violin caused even more flowers to blossom. They take a rest before reaching their final destination. In the morning, they cross a bridge, reaching the mountains. The greedy company members arrive and begin to capture the group. However, the Yeti appears at the top of the bridge and makes a magical sound that made Mr. Burnish remember his past of catching the Yeti and getting him separated from his family.
Mr. Burnish!
Captain, order your men to stow their weapons. Do it now!
Captain?
No!
During a fight with the woman, Yi falls from the bridge. The group was in danger and the agency carries them to the center. Yi is not dead yet. She gets onto the bridge holding a rope and plays the violin. Yeti hears the violin and gets his powers back and saves everyone.
You are by far the most extraordinary creature I've ever seen. That is exactly why the world must never know you exist. They would not understand. I didn't.
And gives our friends heavy clothes. Yeti makes everyone fly on the clouds towards Everest. Even after reaching Everest, Yeti starts making a magical sound, making all of his family members arrive.
They'd be so good at basketball.
He bid them farewell and leaves with his family. Yi and the friends returned home as well, and Yi runs to her mother, hugs her, and promises her family that she would never leave them again. Tell me in the comments which character you liked. That concludes the Abominal 2019. What are you waiting for? Subscribe to see more videos like this, and thanks for watching.